Hey, it's currently June the 4th, 2025, and it's almost dark right now. This dog over here struggling with some of that chicken jerky that she loves so much. We're just winding down. I guess I look very creepy. I didn't check before. It might look a little bit creepy right now, and I'm sorry about that. But I just wanted to holler at y'all. You know, yesterday I didn't upload a video. I had a streak going. Some people might have noticed that. I had a little bit of a streak going every day, and I plan to keep it up. It's little segments, whatever pops in my head. You know, maybe towards the end of the day, what was so significant. Yesterday, I didn't bother to do it. I was a little bit lost in my own being. Some of y'all know what that means. Just taking it all in, the universe. So I couldn't really speak very much. Check out this dog. Breathing hard because of that chicken jerky. I thought perhaps maybe that I would speak on something, but I did not. I chose not to. Instead, I'm going to do it actually kind of right now. Same thing. Still, I've been thinking about different various topics throughout the day, but I would imagine the most important one is what I'm going to share with you. Real quickly, I want to say I just got done. I just, right before I cut on the camera, was listening to Pearl Davis. You might not know who that is. God bless you. And Lila Rose. I only barely know who that is. It's a very intriguing little debate that they were having. And before that, I was listening to another debate. Coincidentally, by Alex Jones and this guy named Drew Lablob or something like that. It's on today's Alex Jones show. Real quick, just wanted to mention, seconds before I cut on the camera, Lila Rose said that love is a risk. Love is risky. She's talking about, because you might be in love or whatever, how people call it, and then you might get your heart broke. And that in and of itself is a risk. I just want to interject and say, that's not what love is. In fact, most people don't know what love is. I won't have time to talk about it too much tonight. I've talked about it before, but most people don't know what love is anyways, all right, and they never will. It'll never sink in, but let me say, love is not a risk, actually. In fact, love might be the only thing out there that's not risky at all. But that was just a random thing that happened right before I cut on the camera. Actually, yesterday when I was busy not shooting a video talking about something, I was listening a few different things. One was Tucker Carlson, and he was talking to some guy, some Catholic bishop or something. They had a lot of things to say, and I don't know exactly how to paraphrase or sum up what this bishop or whatever the heck this guy was, what he was talking about. But basically, from what he was saying, it sounded really in agreement to something that I want to mention right now. And this bishop, or whatever he was, I think it was a bishop, he was talking about that good is whatever it is, and it truly is that. Well, that's good no matter what it is. It's kind of deep, kind of philosophical. I don't know if you're following me when I say it. He's saying if something is, then it is good. Right? And then when we talk about things that are not, I guess that's debatable. But like, gosh, that might sound weird to say that. I was understanding what he said when he said that. If it truly is something, the way that it should be, the way that it is made in the world, if it's doing like anything, if it's serving its purpose, its true purpose, then it's going to automatically be good. Only when things are not serving their purpose does this become perverted and perverse. Alright? He was talking about good and evil, this bishop. He said one way to kind of describe it is that evil, it's like good is, and evil is like devoid of the good. For example, I think he mentioned a tooth. Like a tooth is a tooth, and that is good. But a tooth could have a cavity, which, if you're thinking about it in simple terms, without getting too scientific, what the cavity is a hole. And in fact, cavity is nothing. Cavity really doesn't exist without the tooth there. Right? And he was saying, if you really think about it, the tooth, the cavity, there is no cavity without the tooth, number one. And if the whole tooth was to dissolve and not be there because of the cavity, there is no tooth. And there ceases to be a cavity as well. There is no cavity either, or tooth. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it really did make sense to me. In that same sense, and I think what he was saying, I think he did outright say basically, there is more good than evil. Good is what is. Evil is devoid of good. For there to even be anything at all, there necessarily has to be more good than evil. Although sometimes when you focus on evil, you think about all the evil things happening, it seems like, oh, it's everywhere, it's rampant. Yeah, maybe it is. There's at all times, there's more good than evil, and evil will never be able to compete. It's kind of like typical to say, oh, we're on the brink of nuclear disaster, right? They've been warning and threatening us with that since nuclear bombs existed. If they do exist, and I believe that they do. Some people don't believe that they exist, but it's all right. It's all right to believe that, and I'm not saying that you're definitely wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're wrong. Because escalation in the Ukraine-Russia conflict had been escalating, and it really doesn't show no signs of de-escalation and stuff like that. So that was plenty on my mind yesterday, actually, and I wanted to talk to y'all about, perhaps nuclear devastation or whatnot. There's the line of reasoning that the whole nuclear thing is just to hold it over our heads as though for ransom. The idea of all of our demise at once if we don't do everything that our government tells us to do, basically. All right, and fall in line, or else we're all going to be blown to smithereens by Russia, allegedly. So there's that line of reasoning and stuff. I don't know if I had to say, I'd say the ramping up isn't going to stop, and the reason is because it's being sabotaged from within somehow to not stop. Even though folks like myself and folks like yourself and maybe Donald Trump over there, maybe they don't want war, they want peace, and they realize that peace is good. It's actually good for the economy. It's good for us in general. So, the cavity, remember, there's more good than evil necessarily, or else we would all just dissolve into nothing. What I wanted to say is, people, lots of times they like to get on one side or the other. Dude, you just can't even see my face. It's ridiculous. Turn on a light. Now you're just looking at like some black hole. All right, and I'm out here. Check out the shirt. So it's just my opinion. Like I said, a lot of people want to get on one side or the other. Oh, the Ukraine has to win. Oh, they gotta win. For so long, people been waving around Ukrainian flags over here for no reason. They'll be like, oh, Russia has to win and this and that, whatever. I'm on this side. No, I'm on this side. No, I hate you and you're on over that side and this and that. I'm on the right side. You're on the wrong side and this and that. Obviously, that's the nature of war. But what I want to suggest is kind of exactly what that bishop was suggesting, something very similar. Is that every country, you might think, oh, North Korea, they're all evil over there. China, they're all evil and stuff. They run on evil. They're like a different kind of evil and stuff. Or whatever country you might think of. Might I suggest that there's necessarily going to be more good in that country than there is evil, or else that country would cease to exist. It's like the nature of evil is destructive. The nature of evil just steals. The nature of evil just kills and destroys. You think you build a whole country where people are going to live there and actually families are going to have babies and raise them and stuff in a country that's nothing but pure evil? It doesn't make any sense. There necessarily has to be more good. That good that is very necessary for a country to even exist. It has to somehow triumph over evil, basically. Right? And then, as we're familiar with, the evil swoops down and perches on top of it and eats at the infrastructure. You can't build... you can't have infrastructure get very complex if you're dealing in pure evil. It's not even possible to build communities, cities, and all this sort of big... It's not even possible. Has to be more good. All right? So that's something to think about, because a lot of people get very polarized and say, oh, this country is the worst. We got to get out of this country. No matter what country you're thinking about, and this is why peace is so important. This is why making a deal is so important. Because at some point you want to stop the killing. It's like human nature to go about killing each other. At some point you want to stop the killing so that you could flourish. But if you demonize this other country and say, oh, they're kind of more evil, and so we got to get rid of them. Or we got to do this. We got to do that. No matter what country you're thinking about, it has more good than evil. So it makes sense to... It's like, dude, for the people who are like, oh, Putin, he's the worst. He's like a dictator. He's like communist, and you just can't wait to get onto some Stalin type stuff and all that. I don't care about any other country at all. Whatever leadership y'all could come up with, that's just fine. I know that there's more good than evil in your country because your country actually exists. There's many countries that have gone by the wayside. Hey, I guess they just did not have no good left in them. And they ceased to exist. The countries that are around right now, you have enough good. You have more good than you have evil. No matter what. So I don't see you as subhuman. Pick whatever leaders. Maybe you pick a leader I don't like very much. Doesn't matter. Let's make a deal and have y'all be over there. You might not be so successful as America, God bless you, but we can make a deal, and I don't give a damn who's your leadership. That's what's crazy. That for decades, they've told Americans that we should give a damn who's leading some other country. It's crazy. Anyways, I'll holler at y'all later, and I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get back to crypto trading for the future, and I might even get deleted today, so it'll be all worthless, but I'm going to do it anyways, because that's the kind of stuff I like. June the 4th, 2020, 2025.